The Hamas called for an immediate end to war.
And cooperating with ICE to get criminal aliens off our streets and get them out of our country.
The misogynist appoints the first ever woman to be chief of staff.
Seventh, I will protect the right of self-defense everywhere it is under siege, and I will sign concealed carry reciprocity. Your Second Amendment does not end at the state line.
Hey guys, it's Angela, and the Trump effect is in full effect, and he's not even in office yet. Today I want to show you a video that is going so viral. It has 86 million views on X, and it's from this guy named Joshua Jake. He's the CEO of Discover Crypto and has founded a few other companies. And then after his video of the Trump effect, I want to show you guys a very important message from our future president, Mr. Donald J. Trump. And he is discussing many important things like freedom of speech and the secure border. So let's go ahead and start with the Trump effect. Please make sure that you're subscribed to my channel. This is a 1 minute long clip, and as you can see, almost 300,000 people have liked this video.
Donald Trump's not even president yet. Have you seen what's happened in the last 48 hours? The misogynist appoints the first ever woman to be chief of staff. The Taliban announced they want peace with America and to be taken off the terrorist list. Putin came out and said that Western civilization is not an enemy. Mexico has started securing the border in, of course, response to tariff threats. Saudi Arabia is kicking out all of their Hamas leaders. New York is cleaning up their illegal migrant crisis. Xi Jinping came out and said he wants to peacefully coexist with China and said that they respect American people. The European Union chief finally came out and said, hey America, can we start buying LNG from you so they stop buying from Russian gas? Putin says he takes Donald Trump's plan to end the war with Ukraine very seriously, and Russia supports it. The Houthis are stepping back. The Hamas called for an immediate end to war. He's calling for term limits in from Congress so that way people like Nancy Pelosi stop being forever members. Stock markets and crypto hit all-time highs. He sent Kamala Harris and Hillary Clinton into depression. Because of all of this amazing news, white, liberal, ugly women are now refusing to have sex with men. America is in fact being made great again.
This is so amazing, and it almost makes me feel like, what rights again? Because everybody's complaining about their rights being taken away, and for some reason they have no idea why so many people, 60-70% of the population, I mean, Trump won the popular vote, why they voted for Donald Trump. It's beyond me that they don't understand why. This is why. Before he even has gotten into office, Hamas called for an end to the war. Mexico is working on securing the border. I saw these videos of people in Mexico who were planning to pass, and right now they're protesting. They're really angry about not being able to come anymore, as if it was their right. So again, I want to ask, what rights? And why do people believe that they deserve certain rights when it goes against the Constitution and it goes against having a safe and prosperous country? And these rights that people keep complaining about, like women's rights, for example, are simply things that have been made up, and they have been told so many times, oh, your rights are going to be taken away, and they don't even know what they're talking about. Is it your right to come illegally into a country? Is it your right to force other people to use your pronouns? And this is what I find so beautiful. The Trump effect is already so big, and the entire world respects us more. If Kamala Harris would have become president, nobody would have changed a thing. In fact, everything would have gotten way worse, and we probably could have gone into World War III. Now, Donald Trump is so active. This guy is amazing. After all the rallies, his journey has only just begun, and he's already out there speaking, sending messages to the American people. And this is what I love about him. It's not like, oh, once he got elected, he just disappears and then he flip-flops on his stances. This guy is here to stay. He's here to work and serve the American people. And that's why I am so excited. So here he is giving us a message about many of the important things that he's going to do and already beginning to do. It's amazing.
Joe Biden and the Defund the Police Democrats have turned our once great cities into cesspools of bloodshed and crime. There's never been anything like it. Here's my plan to restore law and order in our cities and throughout our country, frankly. First, because police forces have been gutted by Democrats' war on police, I will sign a record investment in hiring, retention, and training for police officers nationwide. So important. This bill will also increase vital liability protections for officers.
Wow.
Because the Democrats want to take those protections away from our police. Because
This is what I love. It's so specific, and he's talking about who he's going to fund. He doesn't speak generally like Kamala Harris and be like, oh, we just need to believe or dream big or something like that. He is very specific. He knows what he's doing. Guys, we are in good hands.
we want them to do their jobs, and we want them to do their jobs right. You can't take their protections away if you're going to have them do their jobs properly. Second, to qualify for this new funding and all other Justice Department grants, I will insist that local jurisdictions return to proven common sense policing measures, such as stop and frisk. Very simple. You stop them and you frisk them. Strictly enforcing existing gun laws against convicted felons, cracking down on the open use of illegal drugs, and cooperating with ICE to get criminal aliens off our streets and get them out of our country. Third, we will go after the radical Marxist prosecutors who are abolishing cash bail, refusing to charge crimes, and surrendering our cities to violent criminals. They have surrendered like never before. I will direct the DOJ to open civil rights investigations into radical left prosecutors' offices, such as those in Chicago, LA, and San Francisco, to determine whether they have illegally engaged in race-based enforcement of the law. I will also work with Congress to give the victims of their Marxist policies the right to sue local officials for harm and suffering, and it has been great that they have caused. If your small business is pillaged because shoplifting goes unpunished, if you're brutally attacked by a violent felon released without bail or bond.
I just keep thinking about how everybody's saying it's like when, I don't know, your parents told you to clean up or they were gone for the weekend and then you hear them in the driveway. That's basically what's happening. Everybody has been messing around with our country for too long. Donald Trump is back and they can no longer screw up everything. He is back. He's going to put everything in order, in its place, and we're going to have a safe nation again.
Then you will be entitled to massive damages. Fourth, I will order the Department of Justice, or some people call it the Department of Injustice right now, and Homeland Security dismantle every gang, street crew, and drug network in America. Every single one of them will be dismantled. We already know where these turf wars and drug dens are. We know who the people are. And we're going to charge them and charge the culprits with every crime that we can find. We're going to be fair, but we're going to be tough. We also need the death penalty for drug dealers. So important.
Wow.
And I'd add to that human traffickers, drug dealers and human traffickers.
I like the way he says human. Instead of human, he says human. But this is so important because finally somebody is doing something about this. The hundreds of thousands of missing kids, the kids being trafficked. It's finally somebody cares. That's all I have to say. Finally, we have someone who cares about the American people and isn't just taking money under the table and being funded by other countries and funded by wars. Finally, we have a person who is correct.
Get the death penalty. Watch it stop and stop quickly. Fifth, in cities
Beautiful.
where there has been a complete breakdown of law and order, where the fundamental right of our citizens are being intolerably violated, I will not hesitate to send in federal assets, including the National Guard, until safety is restored. If Nancy Pelosi would have accepted our National Guard or our soldiers, you wouldn't have had January 6th. But she and the mayor of D.C. didn't do that. Sixth, we will end the leftist takeover of school discipline and juvenile justice. Many of these carjackers and criminals are 13, 14, and 15 years old. I will order the Education and Justice Departments to overhaul federal standards on disciplining minors, so when troubled youth are out in control, they're out on the streets and they're going wild, we will stop it. The consequences are swift, certain, and strong, and they will know that. Seventh, I will protect the right of self-defense everywhere it is under siege, and I will sign concealed carry reciprocity. Your Second Amendment does not end at the state line. In addition, I will, of course, fully secure the border, dramatically increase interior enforcement, and wage war on the cartels. We have never had a border so secure as it was just 2 years ago, and now our border is the worst anywhere in the world and possibly of all time. There's never been a country that allowed to happen what's happening in the United States right now, where millions of people are pouring across our borders. They come from mental institutions. They come from the prisons. They're all being let out so they can come into the United States.
Yep.
They're poisoning our country. We will also take back our streets from the homeless, the drug addicted, and the mentally ill. I will discuss those plans in much
All the people with their woke breakdowns after the election.
more detail very soon.
They're going to get some
That
help.
is how I will bring back public safety to America. I want to thank you. We're going to make America great again, and we're going to make America safe again. Thank you.
Wow. That was so beautiful. It's like, where do I even begin? He covered so many things, and it's so consistent. This is what we voted for. We knew what we were voting for. And the thing is I didn't even know what Kamala Harris stood for. Just something about rights, something about, I don't know, being unburdened. People have no idea what her policies ever were. But this is the Trump that we know. He is the same. His values are the same, and he's an honest person. He's transparent, and that's why I have so much respect towards him, and especially when it comes to the border. And this is a really big topic of discussion right now, especially amongst Latin Americans, because they're saying, how is it that you can be a Latin American from immigrant parents and not be okay with immigration? And the thing is there's a huge difference between illegal and legal immigration, because it's true that these countries have opened their jails, because why are they going to spend all this money to have these people in their jails or the mental institutions when they know that the US is open and that they could simply let them out and then they will move into the US like they have done? And crime in our country has increased. Crime in Venezuela has gone down. And so these are the reasons why even Latin Americans want to have a closed border, because when you let people in from wherever, like the Cuban regime, for example, and bringing communist ideologies into our country, how is that going to be a good thing? Why do we want these people to overthrow our country? And Donald Trump is for legal immigration, which thank God, because the actual legal process of coming into our country is so backed up right now because they have put so much emphasis on this app or funding and helping all the people get their flights and all of this stuff that they don't even have time for college graduates who want to come here to study or looking to get visas or are coming here through marriage, K-1 visas, CR1 visas. They don't have time for that because they have been so focused on all of this bullcrap. And I also heard that Donald Trump is going to do something for people who are married to American citizens so that they can expedite the process, because that process is incredibly long. It's like years. And so why is it that we have given so much to people coming here in the wrong way? They're the wrong people, the wrong place, the wrong time, and yet we have been allowing them to come here, but not just allowing, completely supporting them, letting them fill up the Roosevelt Hotel and many other places around our country, and increasing the crime rate in our country. And they're not contributing. They're taking jobs like Uber Eats jobs, and they're not even following the rules. You have an app for Uber Eats, a profile, and they've just been using each other's profiles, or they're not registering the vehicle that they're going on. They're switching. They're not following the rules. And of course you can't generalize because most people are good. And there's a quote that I love that's most people are good, but the bad people just move around a lot. But the thing is we've been letting in so many bad people. And so that has been one of the main issues for me and for voting for Trump is the border. And there's many other things that he covered. People who have family in the military, why would our country want wars. We want them to be safe. We want to bring our troops home. We want to drill here. And I'm just so excited because there's people online who are like, oh, you guys just wait. Everything's going to get more expensive because the tariffs. And it just almost seems like they've been listening to Mark Cuban a lot, and that to me, that is not how it works. Tariffs are not going to make everything more expensive for us. It just means that we're going to produce more and that goods and services in our country are going to be less expensive because we're not going to have to be outsourcing everything where it can be so cheap in other countries. So we are going to get paid more. We're going to have more money to spend. And you can already just feel it in the air that people are more at ease. Fridges are a little bit fuller now just because we have that hope. We have a sense of American dream still left in us because of the incredible Trump, who is the perfect example of what the American dream is. Please make sure that you are subscribed to my channel. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.